My name is Lexie Unhjem, and I'm a second-year PhD student in marriage and family therapy at FSU. My research interests are regarding the parent-child relationship and things that affect parenting, such as trauma and early adverse experiences. Since I'm also a therapist, I've done a good amount of clinical work with kids and families who have gone through these experiences. Something that really informs my research is attachment theory, and what it says is that the bond that occurs between a parent and an infant, it starts really early, and that sticks with them throughout their childhood, their adolescent, their teenage years. So what's important in that bond between a parent and their baby is for the baby to feel safe, and so on. So in order for them to feel safe, they need, what I tell parents is 3 different things: stability, consistency, and warmth. So it's kind of a balance between providing structure and predictability to a child, but then coupling that with spending time playing with them, laughing with them, having fun together. Kids and adolescents really need a balance of both of those things in order to feel that they can depend on their parents, that they can explore the world and come back to what we would say like a secure base in their parents. Rules and consequences are definitely important for kids, but they need to be consistent. They shouldn't, flip-flop from one thing to another. But then, of course, they also need that warmth so that they can have a voice in talking to their parents about things that are bothering them, being able to express their feelings in a way that's, attended to, that the parent isn't just dismissing it in any way. Just having that balance between a parent and child is really important, but also something that parents often tell me is they just feel really overwhelmed with, are they doing this right? There's so many different conflicting messages that parents get on how to be a good parent. They really doubt themselves if they're doing a good job. So I remind them, coming back to those core principles of stability, consistency, and warmth. If you're providing a stable, consistent, structured environment for your child, you're giving them plenty of attention, playing with them, those are going to be the things that are most important. So not being too hard on yourself about, did I, attend every concert that they're in, or did I spend too much time at work? Of course, that's going to happen sometimes, but if you come back to those core principles, that's going to be the best thing for your relationship with your child. Something that parents often talk to me about is how overwhelming it can be when their child is having, we'd say, big emotions. They don't really know always what the best method is to handle that, and sometimes parents will not know how to deal with it, so they'll put the kid in another room, or they'll say, once you've calmed down, then we can move on with whatever it may be. But the thing is, kids don't know how to regulate their emotions yet, especially when they're in early childhood. So the best thing is to model that for them. Getting down on their level and talking them through it. Naming the emotion is really good if they don't have that vocabulary yet. So saying, I can see that you're really angry right now, and that's okay. I can see that you're really frustrated right now. So letting them know that it's okay to have an emotion. Maybe what the behavior they're doing is not good. They're throwing a tantrum, they're throwing something, hitting somebody. Talking to them about that, though, should occur when they're more calm. So when they're upset, saying, don't do that, that's not nice, it's probably not going to hit with them very well. So really getting down on their level and regulating with them is going to be what's most helpful. So again, naming that emotion, and also maybe let's take some deep breaths. Let's count to as high as we can go, or there's a lot of different breathing games you can do with kids. One is pretend that you're blowing on a bowl of hot soup, and then they're better able to calm themselves down. So once they're calmed down, then you can have the talk with them about, this wasn't okay, and here's how we can express ourselves in a different way. Something parents often talk to me about, sometimes later in life when they're having a strained relationship with their adult child, is the parent just can't understand. When they were growing up, I gave them everything they wanted. The trips, toys, technology, clubs, whatever it was, I gave it to them. So I don't understand why now they're angry with me about their childhood. But what I talk to them about is, while that's wonderful and I'm sure they appreciated those things, the relationship between a child and their parent is what's more important than physical things or experiences. So really what you need to focus on in that relationship is connecting with your child about what are they interested in, what's been difficult for them at school that week, are they having trouble with friends, helping them navigate those situations and letting them know that it's okay to have these big emotions, and you still love them even when they make a mistake or their behavior isn't lining up with how you would like them to behave, but you still love them, you still see the best in them. So I want to acknowledge, of course, that parenting is really difficult and it can be really overwhelming to know what you're doing. But I think the main takeaway point that parents can just remember is it's a relationship between you and another human being, and how you attend to a relationship with a significant other, your partner, a friend, your own parent is just as important as the relationship with your child. So if you focus on making those connections more than I need to make sure I do this thing, or I need to get them into this school, or I'm a bad parent, focusing on the relationship and the connection is what's going to be most important.